In the end, the truth always comes out in the end. And it will come out this time. That's what I want to talk about in today's brief video. And I'm going to use a little analogy as well from when I was washing the dishes the other night, and an idea came to my mind. Anyway, here I am on my walk on this gorgeous, warm, late spring, early summer morning. Everywhere's burst into life now. Nature is in full bloom, the birds are singing, temperature's rising. I've even got my short sleeve t-shirt on today. How about that? So the other night I was in work and I was helping with the dishes. And I've often thought that it's often when you're doing pretty mindless, mundane activities and tasks, the creative impulses strike. Often when I'm in the shower, I'll have creative thoughts. Often when I'm walking around in nature, I mean, nature inspires creativity, but it's when you're not preoccupied, when your mind's not preoccupied, that's when creativity comes to you. And I had a big container it'd been full of tomato sauce, and I was washing that. So I plunged it into the water. And try this next time, because you'll be able to understand where I'm coming from with this analogy, which I'm going to link to truth. Next time you're washing a big container in the sink, many of you have probably got dishwashers, haven't you? But give it a try anyway. Fill the sink high with water, and then place the container on the surface of the water and press it. So press it down. And it's actually quite hard work to break the surface tension of the water to the point where the water starts flowing in over the sides of the container and the container becomes submerged. And as I was doing that, this is when this thought struck me about truth. You can apply this to anything, to any injustice, unfairness, dare I say a crime. That resistance is strong, and the resistance is the resistance to protect the lie, whatever the lie may be. Not talking about anything in particular. That involves tyranny, that involves censorship, that involves bullying and coercion, psychological terrorism and manipulation. That's the resistance that in this case the surface tension of the water was providing. But at the same time, the more and more and more that I exerted pressure on the container and pushed it into the water, first of all, a slow trickle of that water started flowing over the sides of the container and into the container. Barely noticeable at first. Continued trickling and trickling and trickling for a few seconds. That's the truth element of this analogy. Those people who are being censored, who are being shouted at, shouted down, vilified, ostracised, cancelled, silenced. That's represented by the water, just a few light streams of water just starting to flow, break the surface tension of the water, and the truth starts to trickle out. Only very slowly at first. Slowly it continued, and I carried on pressing. And it was at this point that this analogy came to mind. So I carried on pressing, not with all my strength, just, gently pressing, then a bit more force. More water came through, more water flowed over the side, more truth was starting to emerge. more and more truth was starting to emerge as more and more pressure was applied by me to press the container into the water. Just as in the same way, the truth sayers continue to speak their truth, to raise awareness, to fight back against evil, corruption and lies. Until I got to the point where, bang, there was no trickle anymore. There was a force of water as the container sunk under the weight of the water that poured into it, because the pressure was so great, until the container was fully submerged, sunk in the water. And that's how a lie in the end gets destroyed. It's sunk, it's submerged, it's drowned out, because there's simply too much truth. Too much truth for the lie to survive. And it's always the same. It's a slow process. It's hard work. It's a long process. But the rewards that are reaped in the autumn are sown in the spring, and we are in the spring, and we're sowing those seeds, yet to reap the rewards. But we will reap the rewards because of all of the hard work that we're doing now. So just remember that if ever you're fighting. Like I say, I'm not talking about anything in particular. You know what I'm talking about. But you can apply this to anything. At the start, it's hard, but it's crucial. And those first drops of water that sunk into the container were the most important, because they were the first drops of truth starting to infiltrate society, public consciousness, starting their majestic work at destroying the lie. So it might feel like not much is happening, but it is. And there'll come a point where the lie simply can't survive any longer, and it will be destroyed, it will be sunk. So there we go. Tell me if you like this analogy, share it with people maybe who might be struggling a little bit. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. If you like my content, I'll speak to you soon, have a great day.